I've seen brothers here in Chicago, here in Baltimore, come through the Moorish American through the door, having been shot 6, 7 times. I see him come in, and they get healthy, and they okay. All because of the power of that prayer. I'm not talking about no other prayer. I'm talking about the prayer that you have faith in. What faith in is that we have faith in? It's the Moorish American prayer. We have our own prayer. But when you call it, I love Allah, you don't say I love you. I love Allah. Oh Allah, I love thee. Thine art my God, Allah. That's what Allah wants. That's his language. That's what he put in our ears in reference to him. What he wants you to call him, not what the English man, the English speaking, or the Greek speaking, or the other speaking people want you to call him. He wants you to call him what he said his name is.
Islam, Islam, Islam. You see Maurice Pennington Bay, the master student, got the Supreme Grand Seat.
No more she class. She.
I knew he was gonna jump on me. I knew he was gonna jump on me. I knew he was gonna jump. Got my brother, man. The She Plans Break the Ill, and I got the sister woman here with us too, Diamond Slay Ill. And we got the little ones. Y'all gonna see the little ones. They got the little ones with us too. Some little Moors. They here with us too. Islam, see.
Queen, you're making me jealous. I ain't got my man with me. You're making me jealous, girl. You got your man with you, and I ain't got mine with me.
Lord.
Huh?
I said, Mo, right, we apologies. They coming soon.
Okay. More on the count of one. Well, we're going to internally whisper the Moorish American prayer inwardly on the count of one. Give us a moment to inhale, breathe in, and just reflect. And on the count of one, we're going to say the Moorish American prayer. 3, 2, 1. Amen. Islamism. Praise the Almighty God, Allah. Thanksgiving to Allah. Thanksgiving to Almighty God, Allah. Thanksgiving to Allah for sending us a watchman that foretold all the things that we're undergoing today. A watchman that told us as he saw them to prepare for all the things that we're undergoing today. And that watchman's name is Noble Drew Ali, the founder of this lawfully chartered and incorporated organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the foundation that will never be destroyed. Sister Slade Hill, Diamond Slade Hill, I want to thank you again for being here. It does my heart good when we can have sisters and our queens in our meetings. It does so very good. So very good. And what's the Mo name? What's the Mo name?
Fabian.
Okay. Hey, Prince. Hey, Prince. All right. But Sister Lady, what we're going to do is, I'd like to recap again that we had several previous meetings, and we're going to recap some of those meetings. Sheik, if there are any questions or comments on the line from any of those meetings, we'll note them and we'll comment on them, and then we're going to proceed to the next meeting, for which is witnessing the prophecy fulfilled, chapter 17, prophecy being fulfilled. We're talking about the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. I'm going to read tonight. I'm going to lay some foundation so when we are together next time, give you time enough to read these chapters, because we cannot no longer, for so many reasons, we cannot take these lessons for granted. We cannot take them to use them to win an argument, to explain show how much knowledge we have. We need to know what it is that we have in this. So I'm going to read chapter End of Time Fulfilling Prophecies out of the Holy Quran. I'm going to read Sheikh Matthew's Bay, chapter 24, and I'm going to read Revelation 17, pertaining to this subject. Okay, our first one was the name of God. First recap is the name of our God. Out of all the things that we can do, out of all the things we could ever possibly say, is the name of our Creator. The records are not reflecting. The records, books, holy books, are not holy people, or so-called holy people, are not reflecting Allah's name, the God's name. And this is the one thing that our people need to know. We need to know the name of our Creator. When Prophet Moses was first commissioned to do a job, first thing that came out of his mouth before he turned towards doing that job, on the road, on the path that was on before him, he said, "Who shall I say who sent me?" When they asked me who sent me, who shall I say? And Jehovah told him his name. All through the book of Psalms, all through the book of Proverbs, all through Ezekiel, all the prophets, and especially in the Bible, you never see his name. You see his attribute, for which is God or the Lord God, but his name. It says, holy is his name. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jehovah. So we want to know our Creator's name. And his name in Arabic is Allah, and in Hebrew is Jehovah, the two chief names of the one great God, the God that the father of the nations, Abraham, told his children what the God's name was. Secondly, got to emphasize, we are not Moorish Americans. Moorish Americans are not Masons by any means. We do not affiliate with the institution, the honorable institution of Masonry. The Prophet Noble Drew in the Holy Quran asks us to return to church and Christianity, for which those two institutions come from. The York Rite and the Scottish Rite comes from, turn them back to the Europeans as it was prepared for them by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. So by no means are we Masons, have no affiliation with it. The other subject recap is the soul of man. We just touched on the title and verse 1 of the chapter Soul of Man, because that's where we needed to be. Said the external example, the blessing of our external is health, vigor, and proportion. We didn't touch on proportion and vigor. We just touched on health. What health is to the body, even that is honesty to the soul. But when that body is out of proportion and that body don't have the vigor that it should have of the faculties of the mind, we find ourselves weak. We find ourselves out of in harmony or having disease. So that was the other recap. And tonight I want to talk about more. You can put that picture up now, Sheikh, please.
Islam.
I want to talk about this right here. This is a prophecy that was foretold. This is make no reference to any woman in particular. It's making reference to a great system that's in the world today. This right here, you find this in the book of Revelation, chapter 17, where it talks about a great harlot. And this is not making any reference to our beautiful women. By no means. It's teaching a lesson. We're teaching a lesson. But we're talking about a great harlot. And this harlot, better still, I'm going to read first. I'm going to read out the Holy Quran, the Moorish Temple of America, where it says, know yourself and your Father God Allah, that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship under his own nationality and religion, vine and fig tree. This is the uniting of Asia. And it reads, chapter 48, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. Page 59 in your Quran. I'm going to read it slow because, again, I don't want to take these lessons and these blessings for granted. I want to give you time to connect these dots in this lesson with this about this great holiday, how it pertains to the day. And then hopefully you'll connect the dots of all the flesh lovers that we have, all the situations of the flesh eaters, the people that are in love with flesh. Maybe you can get the chance to connect that dot because of the disobedience that we are being to our Creator, that we're becoming lovers of flesh, being ashamed. And we know that we are ashamed, but we don't know why. Because the spirit of flesh is in the land. The spirit of this great harlot is affecting all of our people. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to read about it tonight prayerfully. Next week, or next time, we can discuss her. That'll give you time to formulate some ideas, some comments, some questions, and let's break this woman down so we can see her, so we can let the people know that have got the problems that they have, maybe they can overcome, or give you an option or give you a way to answer their question of why they're going through what it is that they're going through. Why? So let's read. He says, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali. Mo, do you have a picture of Noble Drew Ali? Can you put him up? For those that may not know, I'm introducing everybody to this great man. It's not me, I'm just giving voice to him. In the middle of this poster is the man that I'm making reference to, the man whose voice, whose writings I'm giving voice to. His name is Noble Drew Ali. He is the founder of this organization, for those of you that don't know. And he said, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, the last real prophet. You got people out there making reference to themselves as being prophet, but the real prophet. And you read Caveat Emptor, and you read Moorish literature, and you'll find the other type of prophets out there. But the real prophet, and the last one in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah. Now, Allah is the great God. Allah is the one who said, let there be light. Allah said, let there be a firmament. Allah said, let there be earth, let the waters produce, let there be the sun, moon, and the star. It is Allah who said, let us make man. Allah, your creator, your God, whose name you should know, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways, the sinfulness of their sinful ways. That's what we're talking about. And to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. I'm going to stop right there, Sheik. You bring that picture, bring that harlot back up. This is a picture of a great harlot. We're going to read about her, and I'm going to read the whole chapter, book of Revelation pertaining to her. All of it, because again, we want to connect the dots. And Sister Slade Hill, at any time, comments or questions, please feel free. Anyone that's under the sound of our voice, you have a comment or question, please feel free. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not the devil. I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. And hopefully, prayerfully, that we can reason together on anything that becomes controversial. Now, so I'm going to read. Are there any questions at this time, Chief Pennington Bay?
Islam, nope, no questions.
All right. At this time, Sheikah Slade, Queen Slade, can I call you Queen, sister?
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Oh, thank you.
No question so far.
Queen Slay Ill, do you have a Bible in front of you?
Yeah, I have my Bible.
Okay, now maybe you got several of them out there, King James, and you got Revised, and you got Standard Revised. You got all these
I got
different
a
Bibles.
I got a New Living Translation.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask you as we read let's be patient with one another because all these Bibles very well could read differently. But the answer is pretty much the same. The message is pretty much the same. I'm in Revelation 17. This is the 17th prophecy that's being fulfilled right today. And it reads like this. And you can pull your questionnaire out, your one-on-one questionnaire, put your one-on-one questionnaire pretty much with every verse that's in this chapter. You can go directly to your questionnaire. And 17:1 put you right in the questionnaire. It says, then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, who is seated upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and with the wine of whose fornication the dwellers on earth have become drunk. We're talking about a great harlot. A great harlot. And he carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of the blasphemous names, and it has 7 heads and 10 horns. We're talking science now. When we read this, go over this, next time we meet, let's talk about this science. Let's see what this beast is. Let's see what this great harlot is. Let's see with our own eyes, with our own minds to comprehend what is written in symbolism. Let's make it plain because that's what we're talking about. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and bedecked with gold and jewels and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup full of abomination and the impurities of her fornication. And on her forehead was written a name of mystery. Queen Slady, can you tell me what the name of mystery is? I'm in verse 5.
Babylon the Great, mother of all prostitutes and obscenities in the world.
Is that something?
Yeah.
Babylon the Great, mother.
Yeah.
Who is that?
The one that breed.
Okay. Mother of harlots and of the earth's abomination. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the sheiks and the blood of the mitrix of Jesus. When I saw her, I marveled greatly. But the angel said to me, why marvel? I tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns that carried her. The beast you saw was and is not and is ascended from the bottomless pit to go to perdition. Are you with me, family?
Islam.
Queen Slayer, you with me?
Yes.
That's okay. And the dwellers on earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Now, who do we possibly know whose name has not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Something to think about. We'll marvel to behold the beast, because it was and is not and is to come. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman is seated. There are also 7 kings, 5 of whom have fallen. One is, the other has not yet come, and when he comes, he must remain only a little while. This is so plain to me. This is so plain to me. It's like I'm looking at a book explaining everything to me, because I know the symbolism.
Islam. I
Yes,
can say that. Here, I don't very much understand the symbolism. Like when you first started reading, and describing. So like your version has like a description of like what she had on. So like it was saying that she was cloaked in violet and scarlet, and drinking the wine, and that really took me to a place of like, because I kind of understand the symbolism around those colors,
wow.
and then being connected to our spirit body.
Okay. Oh, Queen, stay there. Go and get my baby. Go and get him. I can't stand him. Go and take a moment. We'll be here. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure they're all right.
For sure. But yeah, it tapped into like, it really just highlighted for me like my understanding of like our spirit bodies, um, our 7 spirits, and that crown chakra, and then that root chakra. So when I heard it, I'm thinking of somebody who may be perceived to like have it all figured out from the realms of heaven to earth, right?
Okay.
And that's really kind of what's sitting with me while you're
Okay.
reading the rest of this. Like,
Okay.
so yeah.
Praise Allah. We're going to give you a clear, better understanding. We're going to give you a real good understanding, Sister Slayer. And just keep in mind, as I read, that our last topic was the soul of man. But
Islam.
You can't hear you, see? Something happened. Something happened. We can't hear you.
they were dressed beautiful, because the picture that we're looking at, well, she's bedecked with got a crown on, she's got jewelry on, she's looking her very best. So we're touching on something right next to the chakras. We're talking about the outer appearance, because this person has no soul. Now, let me just read it again. And he carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. I'm in the wilderness. And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of blasphemous names. And it has 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed, and this is how she's dressed. She was dressed in purple and scarlet, and bedecked with gold and jewelry and pearls, and holding in her hand a golden cup full of the abominations and the impurities of her fornication. So we're talking about, you have a chakra, Sister Queen Slayer. But this woman, this woman here, and we're going to see it as we go down, she has no soul. She has no soul, and we're going to read that too. It's almost going to say it. It says, I'm in verse 5. And on her head was written a name of mystery. Mystery. Babylon the Great, mother of harlots, You know, we all know that we lose a lot when we in that state of mind. I know when I do things that I have no business doing, it's almost like I'm soulless. I have to be soulless to do what it is that I'm doing. And that's the case of this woman. She has no soul.
Oh,
Go ahead.
would you say that like? So I'm kind of drawn from my understanding of Babylon, like Babylon being like an aggregation of like confusing thoughts. So like when you said that, like I know when I do something wrong that like I'm feeling like I ain't got no soul, and I know that I've personally been I've witnessed like how the higher self and the lower self can go into this battle of thoughts. Like
Wow,
the
come
higher
on.
self can give a thought, and then the lower self come and be like, but it kind of try to tweak the truth so you can feel righteous. Like
That's
that's
right,
what.
Queen. That's exactly right. Now you follow me what I'm trying to say, what we're trying to say right here. That's exactly right. Soulless person. But in this case right here, the lower self has won. And it has said the lower self has slayed the higher self with this harlot, with this mother of harlot. She's a harlot and she's making harlots. She's making the world drunk on her impurities and her fornication. She got us out there like we living in Sodom and Gomorrah. She got us in love with flesh today, for example. That's a soulless person. It says, verse 6, and I saw the woman drunk with the blood of saints and the blood of the midriffs, and the disciples of Jesus. She's drunk with our blood. Drunk because she has won us. She has won us over. She got us today doing all kinds of things. And she's figuring that she has won. Then verse 6 go on to say, when I saw her, I marveled greatly. Wow. But the angel, who is this? The angel. Angel, what is an angel, Sister Slayer? Can you recall? An
A
angel.
messenger of Allah.
Say it again.
A messenger of Allah.
That's exactly right. That's his duty. But an angel is a thought. An angel is a thought of Allah. Manifested in what?
In human flesh.
In human flesh. In human flesh. So we're talking about the human attributes now. Human flesh. He came and said simply, why marvel? Why marvel at this? The angel came and said, why are you marveling at this? This is a great harlot. You don't know what a harlot is? You don't see that she's bedecked? You know, you're conscious. You've been in the world 30, 40, 50 years, you know. But the angel said to me, why marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast, and of the mystery of the woman and on the beast of the 7 heads and 10 horns that carry her. You with me?
Islam.
Says verse 8, the beast that you saw and is not. Now listen to the language. And is to ascend from the bottomless pit to go to perdition. In other words, it's for purpose. A purpose. The perdition implies a purpose. He's being used for a purpose. And the dwellers of the earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Anyone have any idea who that could possibly be? Who is it that their names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world? We're talking about all the people that existed from the foundation of the world. When Allah first made the world, he recorded their names, who they were in the book of life. Can anybody think of anybody's name that's not recorded?
The Negroes, the black people, the colored folks.
That's right. That's right. That's right. The dwellers on earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
Islam. I just a quick thought. Is I don't know, maybe this is kind of full circle. By the end of this, I'll have a complete picture for everybody. But earlier I watched the movie Beast of Nations.
Oh, my son in it.
And like when he called out those names that weren't listed in the book of life, and I'm like, that makes sense because the names that are listed are, it's pretty much giving lineage to nations. Everybody is tied to a nationhood, right? Um, so that just kind of leave you with the beast, the devil, dragon, beast.
Wow.
Like,
And, and that's the
yes.
one movie, Sister Slade, Queen Slade, that's the one movie that he has made that I do not like. Because of the activity, the beast that's displayed in that movie, the bestiality that's displayed in that movie. Out of all the movies that he's made, I cannot find myself watching it again.
Who made the movie?
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I feel like it was very telling, and I can agree with you, like it was very disturbing, but like it definitely, it showed that part of our, how beastly we can get. And I think
Wow.
we try to avoid our reflection when we make it to that level of
Wow.
bestiality.
Well, can you bring the pictures up? Can you bring the faces up, please?
Islam.
Wow. Okay. Praise Allah. Okay. Okay. Queen Slade, I'm glad you said that. But go ahead. Any more? Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, that was a complete thought. It just really
Okay.
it just got me pondering now. Like,
Okay. We're gonna keep you pondering, and we're gonna go over again. We're gonna go over the symbolism because that's where the lessons are fully. That's where the lessons are in the symbolism. You know, 7 heads, 7-headed beast, 10 horns, all of this type of stuff. Okay, verse 9. It says, this call for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman is seated. They are also 7 kings, 5 of whom have fallen. One is, the other one has not yet come. And when he comes, he must remain only a little while. Ain't that something?
Wow.
That's something to think about. As for the beast that was and is not, it is an 8th, but it belongs to the 7th. And it goes to perdition. Again, perdition implies something for a reason. Something is going to be used as a scapegoat. Something is going to be used to make an example, to help us reason. The terminology perdition. I ain't talking about the meaning of the word. I'm talking about the spirit of the word, perdition. And verse 12. And the 10 horns that you saw are the 10 kings who have not yet received royal power, but they are to receive authority as kings for 1 hour together with the beast. These are of one mind and give over their power and authority to the beast. And the Lamb will conquer them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And those with him are called Maurice Pennington Bay, Queen slay ill. Diamond slayed ill.
Islam.
Islam.
Those that are with him. Those that are with the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Those that are called faithful, chosen and faithful, even unto death. Now we know these lessons. We see these things. All we have to do is remain faithful to them. We know what to expect.
Islam. It's I love that you stopped there at that faithful. The faithful ones will be with
Wow.
him, because when you was at verse 9, going down up into that, where it's speaking of the seven heads of the beast representing the seven hills, and then they also represent the seven kings, and five kings already fell, the six now reign, the seven is yet to come and will reign briefly. What I notice is that, like, kings is coming and going, but like those who are
Wow.
faithful know that the true king is
Wow.
everlasting, you know.
Wow.
So like it speaks on
Islam.
a soul that's really just tied to carnal things, and puts it up on a pedestal, utilizes its power, then trying to keep, you trying to make it
Wow.
everlasting. You think you gonna get to something everlasting, but you're only utilizing momentary powers. You're not actually tapping into the force and the source of all that's everlasting.
Islam.
So,
Then listen to this. If you don't, Queen Slayer, if you don't sound chosen,
Islam, Islam,
you sound chosen. You sound opening your mouth. Nobody got a pistol to you. Well, man, you promised us some money. If she got on and said some nice things,
Nah, she.
nah, not at all.
If anything, I just put a whole bunch of work down in front of her to do.
were not the masters influence when Jesus got up and spoke?
uh, Islam. That's right.
Islam,
And didn't he sound like music to their ears? And this is how you sound to my ears:
Islam.
chosen and faithful. Therefore, you will not be robbed as far as I'm concerned. You will not be raped. You will not be molested. You will not be harmed,
Islam.
because Allah has chosen you to be his faithful. Wow, I'm impressed. I truly am. Verse 15. You ready? Okay, Queen Slade?
Left to all right.
Islam, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she Pinto Bay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Verse 15. And the angel said to me, the waters that you saw where the harlot is seated are people and multitude and nations and tongues. Let me read that again. And he said to me, the waters that you saw, that we're talking about, where the harlot is seated, are people, multitudes, nations, and tongues.
Wow.
Now, where could that possibly be? We'll find out next week. Where could that possibly be? Waters, a harlot, people, multitude, nation, and different tongues. Where could that possibly be? And the 10 horns that you saw, they and the beast will hate the harlot. They will make her desolate and naked, and devour her flesh, and burn her up with fire. For Allah has put it into their heart to carry out his purpose by being of one mind, and giving over their royal power to the beast, until the words of Allah shall be fulfilled. Until the words of Allah shall be fulfilled. Queen Slayer, whenever I see the word Lord or God in the Bible, I say his name.
Right.
Because we know that We know that Satan takes on the title of who?
God.
God.
God. And I don't want nobody to think that I'm talking about Satan because he takes on that title. Verse 18. And the woman that you saw is the great city which has dominion over the kings of the earth. Put that picture back up for me again, Sheik, please. There she is. A great harlot. A great harlot.
I think it's when, like, describing her as like wearing all these jewels, and so like it just put me in this mind frame of like you see these people that's out in the world today, and they all flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like they got it all. You know what I'm saying? To the person who perceives themselves as not having it all, right? But
Wow.
man, it's so easy to be deceived by these people. Like
Wow.
they flash they contacts, and they flash they jewelry, they cars, they this, they that. You know what I'm saying? And the whole
Wow.
time they praising a God that isn't the one true God. You know, and you won't learn that until you actually bear witness to the things that they speak, to the things that they do, how they react to certain situations. You know, and I learned that lesson
It
the
keep me,
hard way, you know, and it keeps you like, I say for myself, it keeps me in a state of reflection, you know, because I know, like, innately my soul, I'm drawn to aesthetics, right? Like if you could see my background, my room is like pink, and I got paintings everywhere, and I love jewelry and things like that, but like because I know that my soul draws to those things, I know that I even more so have to be in right standing with my Father God Allah. I have to come and make sure I'm humble and modest in His eyes, you know, and I'm covered in that way, because all the rest of this, what you see, is all that fade away, and I've seen it fade away off of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, I do.
it gets unimpressive real quick, you know. So
The rec-
I thank you for this lesson. I
oh
thank
no, thank you,
you.
sister, for being a part of it. But it probably nobody really clearly says, I think it's in chapter 2 or 3. I think it's 3. He said it gives us, she gives us apples that are lovely to the eye.
But in the core of bitterness and gall, no eyes to see,
Deceit.
no ears to hear.
You know, deceit.
That's real.
Very real. And,
That's
and this
real.
and this is what we're going to talk about. This is one of the prophecies that we're currently living. This power, this we're talking about the spirit, because I think it said in here somewhere, it said, carry him in the spirit. Yeah. It says, verse 3, 17:3 says, and he carried me in the spirit.
Right.
So we're talking about the spirit. And this spirit took it to this harlot. And this spirit is affecting so many of our people today. It's giving us apples that are lovely to the eye, pleasant to the smell, but their cores are full of bitterness. And that's not to say for one moment that we're talking down on our sister woman, because by no means am I. But we need to know the times that we're living in. We need to know how it is that our brothers, first of all, how our race is being cut off.
Mm.
You know, how our race is dying off.
Wow.
It's because we're in love with flesh. We're in love. I want everybody wants the same sex flesh. And as a result, our people are slowly dying off.
Mm.
That's what this chapter, what we just read, is making reference to. The mother of harlots. She's making harlots, making us, she's the mother of harlots.
You know, I I find this really interesting, kind of funny, like,
Okay.
cause when my era, like we grew up with when computer came out. Like
Well,
I
man,
can
can you
remember.
bring her up, please?
It's
Okay.
I
Go ahead, sister.
remember. I remember like when computers actually came out, dial up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when YouTube actually started popping, and the first things we started learning about, like, and I'm like sixth, seventh grade, fifth, sixth, seventh grade, like starting folks having these conversations about Illuminati and this, that, and the third, selling your soul, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of theories on what it is to sell your soul. And I find it funny that like we came up with all these theories, all these spooky theories, when in actuality we sell our souls to carnal things every day. Like we're not, you ain't going to sit down at a table with a man signing no check. No, like you're doing it every day, just in little actions, little thoughts that you continue to let pile up, and you start manifesting them in your body. Like, and we don't even see it because we so on the go. We move so fast, like we kind of blind our own self to it. And like I feel like for some it's like an intentional blinding, but like most people don't even recognize that. Like every day I'm selling myself. If like we are, I never forget the day I came to that conclusion of like I really said it out loud, and one of my friends looked at me like I was crazy because I was like, Lord, am I a prostitute? Like, I was like, she's like, what? Wait, what? Like, I'm like, this is a real question. Like, we have to be real about these things. Like, are we selling ourselves out or selling yourself short for a temporary gain? And
So,
that's real.
Sister Ray, we want to make this, please keep in mind that we're talking about a spirit that is, it's easy that we make mistakes. I've made mistakes. We all have made mistakes in our lives, and chances are we'll make a few more. But what we're making reference to is the spirit of how a people in love with flesh, how our race is being cut off, how our people are being cut off because men are not getting with women, women are not getting with men. This is what this is making reference to. The abomination, the fornication, the sinfulness of sin is what we're talking about here. We're living in the times of Sodom and Gomorrah. We have slipped. We have slipped since 1928. We have been slipping into the conditions that we find ourselves now. And some of us have slipped and fell and cracked and bumped our heads. A lot of our people have, to the point that the spirit is overtaking our people. And this is what this is all about. We're going to go in more detail. Islam, Brother Day-Bay. Good luck. Good to see Mo. Day-Bay. But we're going to go into this a little bit more. I want you don't have, you can, we don't have to necessarily blind ourselves with our own circumstances. Wow. I'm asking that we don't blind ourselves with what it is that we've gone through. Look at this for just what it is. Do not apply this chapter to anything that we can possibly, that we can apply to ourselves, because it's not talking about you. It is talking about those who don't have their names not written from the foundation of the earth. But when you get to this point, a difference is made. A difference is made because in the prophet Noble drew out his arm, when he came, what is the one thing that he has in his arms? And that's you, Sister Diamond, Queen Diamond, right here. That's you in his arms. In other words, there's only one way for man to be born, and that is through a woman. So in order for us to be a pure and clean nation that directly reflect, you have got to be who it is that you are, and that's purity. Now please, let me just say this as an example. There's a reason for you every month that you go through what it is that you go through. You are constantly doing what? Throwing off impurities of your body. And this has got to apply to your mind, apply to all of our women's mind. That every month just let them think, I know they go through the rough part, but I tell them all the time, take the cayenne pepper and 1 or 2 other teas out there that'll help them. But you're literally throwing off impurities in your life.
Islam.
So don't go back and pick those impurities up. Let them stay where they fall. You keep going up this noble road and let this woman here that's in chapter 17 get her karma for what it is that she's doing to our people out there. We have men got more muscles than any one of us on this show. And I know Chief Pennington Bay I know he's really buff, and probably Brother Day Bay is probably buff too. You know, they got people, but they got a mind. They have no mind. They done lost their mind, their imagination. They have no idea who they are. And as a result, they're thinking that they are something that they're not. I'm not talking about my people. I love them. I'm just trying to teach a lesson so we can help them if at all possible.
Islam, Sheikh. I want to, before we go on, I want to bring us some clarity, because when we talking about these individuals whose name is not written in the book of life, we know who they are. The Prophet Noble Ali teaches us, that we are not these people, because I remember when I thought that I actually told my mother that there was a new type of person called a nigger, and that's what we are. I literally,
Wow.
I said this to my mother.
Wow.
My mother looked at me and was like, she didn't even know what to do, So these individuals, these Negroes, these Black people, these colored folks, they fall victim. The harlot can entice them and tempt them and run all this game on them, because they don't know who they are and they don't know what they are.
Sheikh, can I just say this, please? Please allow me to say this. One of the main reasons why our people are those names is because we keep calling them that. We keep calling them. We call themselves. Our job, yours and mine, and Day and the Queen as well. Our job is to uplift our people. And if we don't use a constant drop of water to let them know that they are not these names, they will go into the next generation and tell them. We need to confront ourselves, first of all, with letting them know, being able to tell them that they're not. And then secondly, telling them that they're not those names. Because them people want to stop. They want to stop. They just don't know how. Their money is not helping them. Their wealth, nothing is helping them. They want to know, but we have got to tell them. And this demonstration was demonstrated some time ago, and I said, the person asked me, said, "Well, who are those people? Their names never written from the foundation of earth?" And I said, "They were the Moors." That's whose names weren't written. Moors. Who we are was not written from the foundation. Who are these Moors? They want to think, who are these Moors? That was just an opening. We know that they're the unconscious Moors. This is what we used to make reference to back in the 50s and 60s, or 60s and 70s when I came in the movement. We made reference to them being as unconscious, not Negro, Black, and colored. They were unconscious. And this is what we have to do, to let them know, because they become offended. The prophet teaches in the Quran, when they're confronted with truth, they turn away from it, or something to that effect. Is that right?
Islam.
You can't force that truth on them. You can't pop with that truth. You got to slide it in on them, man.
It's what they say, you plant the seed and allow it the water might come from somewhere else.
That's right.
You just plant the seed, keep going.
And that's what we have to do. Plant this seed and then don't force it. Just plant it. Let all I do, you do your job, let all I do his. Yeah. Okay. I want to read Sheikh Matthews Bey. And we're still talking about in the time fulfilling of the prophecy. Brother Day Bay, we talked about how we're going to read these lessons, and we're going to have another meeting where we can connect the dots. Because to teach this is one thing, but to comprehend it is another. I want you to know what it is that they're talking about, who the harlot is, because it is a harlot. There's an actual symbol that displayed this harlot. There is an actual mountain with 10 horns, a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. There is actually this. What does the Lord self? What people represent the Lord self? Those who accept their teachers, is that right? What is the Lord self? How many selves are there?
2 selves.
We have 2 selves.
Name them.
The higher and the lower self.
What does the Lord self represent?
Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms.
So we're talking about somebody that's out there right now as we talk, representing, symbolizing everything that this is making reference to. And you need to know it. And we're not going to rush through these lessons. Like I said, we on Solar Man, we still have got to verse 2. And I think we had she did a whole show on verse 1, the title, and just the verse 1 of the soul of man. And we still haven't got to verse 2, 3, 4, etc. So we're talking about not taking these lessons for granted. We're talking about instilling them in one another, like it was instilled in me. My job is to instill it in you, and for you to know what the reference symbolism is made with. That's here. All the symbolism that is here is for you to know. Who is this great harlot? And again, we're not talking about any one particular. We're talking about a spirit that's out there, that's making our people, bringing our children in the world, taking our children out the world, all kinds of ways.
Teaching them to gratify the lower self.
Wow. Couldn't put it no better, Sister Queen. Couldn't put it no better. Gratifying the lower self. And they're doing a good job of it. A good job. And the world is letting them do it. Now, I want to read just a couple of chapters out of Sheikh Matthews. Anybody know who Sheikh Matthews Bey is?
Islam.
Who is Sheikh Matthews Bey, Sheikh?
And that's one of the disciples, one of the master disciples.
That's right, Mo. That's right. Sheikh Matthews Bey was one of Sheikh Jesus of Nazareth, or Jesus of Nazareth, one of his sheikhs, one of his disciples. And I want to start at verse 20 of chapter 24, verse 1. Anybody care to read it? Day Bay or Queen?
We in the book of Matthew.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Look, I had to catch up.
Okay.
Matthew 24. What instruction you said, Sheikh?
Start at verse 1.
Islam.
That's a blessing.
And we're talking about the end of time. We're talking about the fulfilling of the prophecy. We're talking about a great harlot that said no many waters, multitudes, nations, and tongues. She's decked in scarlet. She's looking good. She's got jewelry on. She's looking fabulous. But she's holding in her hand the cup of the abomination of her impurities. All of her impurities she has, and she's trying to give me a drink of it. She's trying to give you a drink of it. Go ahead, Queen.
As Jesus was leaving the temple grounds, his disciples pointed out to him the various temple buildings. But he responded, "Do you see all these buildings? I tell you the truth, they will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another."
Wow. Do y'all see the great harlot at work?
Islam.
Do y'all see what's going on? One stone will not be left upon another. They're in the temple. One of his disciple Jude Hill, asked him what will be the sign of your coming. And he said, see, look. And if you look out there in the world right now, you will see stones being thrown down. Stones that are built upon stone are being thrown down. A sign for you to let you know that what you have, you're living right. You're doing right. You're in the right place. Continue, Queen.
Later, Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciples came to him privately and said, tell us, when will all this happen? What sign will signal your return and the end of the world? Jesus told them, don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah. They will deceive many, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes,
So
these. Okay. Yes.
you got them all. You hear it? Many will deceive. Many, you got to know that you will be deceived, whether they basis of radio or sheep. You will. You will be deceived. Jesus was deceived. Drew Ali, Muhammad, you as well will be deceived. Don't sweat it. Just know what to say. What the beauty truth say, that they were deceived before you were, and they still went and did their job. He said, the love of many will grow cold. The love of many will grow cold. People that you have helped will betray you, backslide. You got to know the times that you're living in, and we're talking about the end of time, the filling of the prophecy. We're talking about that cup of abomination that's in that harlot's hand, that she's making the king, the ruler, you and I, not me and you and I, but people drink of her impurities, making them a part of her impurities. Go ahead, Queen.
Wow.
It's, that I don't know, that just touched different because I literally just telling my co-lead about a conclusion that I had to come to the other day, just encountering a lot of what you described as far as like treatment, what I would term as mistreatment in the world from people that you assume are supposed to be the love givers, right? And I had to come to that conclusion that like I was like, I'm okay because I understand that what I'm experiencing isn't like a special type of mistreatment, right? Like it's the treatment that they give themselves and they gonna give to anybody else that comes across their path. So there's no need for me to take this to heart. There's no need for me to declare war. You know what I'm saying? Because my lower self, it wanted to gratify itself. It wanted to declare war. And so that hit right on point. That hit right.
Sister, please, Queen, please keep in mind,
Mhm.
we talked earlier that about you being chosen. And in you being chosen and being faithful, you have got to know what you're chosen for. And you are chosen to give and don't even ask in return. And that's, don't make it hard. Your blessing of your health, your wealth, your children, prosperity, your family, friends, and loved ones, your health, your wealth is to give and not even ask for something in return. Because if you do, then the only reason you gave is to get. And that's your reward. So says Noble Drew Ali.
Yes,
But if you give without respecting something in return, you are your health that's going to gain. Continue.
Okay. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world, but all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. So this whole time he's talking about birth pains of women in labor.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly all nations. Every life comes through a birth pain. Every life comes through something. A seed, before it can grow, has to break its way through the ground. The soil. You plant that seed that we talked about earlier, you put it in the ground. In order for it to live, it has to literally grow strong to break its way through the dirt that it may live. And it's the same way with you and I. We come through our childhood, we get bullied in school, we get beat up, we beat up people, we get things taken, we get our butts beat. We come through something. It's only to fortify you, it's only to strengthen you that you can do what it is that you're called to do in this world. And we as a nation have come through a lot of birth pain. We have come through a whole lot, and we're still going through a whole lot. The birth has just been delayed. What do you call a child that won't come out on his due date? What is that called?
We just call it late.
Late. Okay. Well, Morris, this child here is just late then, but it's going to come through. But in the meantime, while it's being late, causing so much discomfort, so much concern, and the wonderful thing about all of that is there's so many more prayers are going up, so many healthy thoughts are going up. Continue, Queen.
Hold on, see. Hold on,
Go
see.
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
never thought about it that way. Never
Wow.
thought about it that way. You hear what you just said? She, I mean, did y'all hear what she just said? Wow,
Right.
I mean, and you applied it to the child, but just apply it to life. While we going through everything we going through, how many more prayers go up to the great God of life?
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Mhm.
How much more attention is focused on what deserves our attention in the first
Good
place?
God Almighty.
Yeah.
Islam. That
It's
Islam. All right,
Boys,
all
we
right.
have a lot to be thankful for. We didn't have to go through this. You know, I think we read in End Time Fulfilling of Prophecy. He said that he was prepared to warn us from the great wrath which is sure to come. But all we had to do, all we still have to do, we don't have to go through this. We do not, as a people, we do not have to go through this because let me just read, let me find it 1 second. It says, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men. If we would have given him the chance to redeem us from our sinfulness of sin, from our sinful ways, we would not have to go through this. But we won't let him redeem us. We sitting here day to day, probably gonna fight somebody tomorrow. I'm not saying any one of us, but my thought is that we won't allow Allah to do what he has called to do. We won't come together. We won't do what we're supposed to do on individually and even as a group and even as a whole and even as a nation. And as a result, we catch the wrath that we're speaking about now, war against nation and being deceived by people that love us, things of that nature.
It's wrong. You know
Islam.
that it.
Let me say Islam to the Queen Adams Bay. Islam, Queen Adams Bay. Islam.
mm, And I when you just was speaking on like we wouldn't let if we would let him redeem us, then we wouldn't have to go through these things. Like
That's
you
right.
know, I had a situation the other day where like the opportunity to gratify my lower self showed up real strong. I really just had to like really throw my hands up in the air because I felt my body about to go into like a knee jerk reaction, and I had to really just kind of put my hands up, and I had to like that was my first time experiencing it to that extent where I really just had to call on the name. Like I was like, Jesus, first of all, I'm gonna keep my hands to myself, and then like just make room for Allah to breathe on me and breathe through me and let me know what's going on. And it really came to that, like it, like before I knew it, I was like, what would you do that for? You know what you can do. I know what you can do. You know what you can do. Because I was like, Jesus, let me know what you would do right now, because s- something inside of me is saying you would do what I would do right now. You would throw your hands. And like the conversation just had to kind of continue on. And he like, nah, no, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even got to do that, because I know who you are. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. And why would you allow that to drag you into, why would you allow yourself to be brought into war on that level? Like when I brought you to another battlefield and you see the victories. So like that was deep where you said like we won't allow the space, because like I knew in that moment that I was like a witness for Jesus in that moment, for especially the kids that was around, because this family, you know what I'm saying? So like, what if I was to go with my bodily reaction right then in that moment, that my Lord self pushing that out my body in that moment, then that mother, that Scarlet, that harlot, she would have been teaching and breeding that action and them children around me in that moment. Like, and so that's just so important, man. I thank God for that lesson, because it really, I felt so at peace after that. I really felt like,
Okay.
I felt like a big girl, like I had, I really did that. I was so proud of. I was walking down the street. I was like, yes, tried and true, tried
Queen, can I
All
ask
right.
Queen, can I ask you a question?
yes.
Can I ask you, and before you answer, just think for a moment. Just think. What is Islam? Think for a moment before you answer, please.
As well as peace with everything, in and out.
Okay. No, but what can you recall what Noble Drew Ali said about what Islam is?
I know, I know the peace with everything portion is in there. I think within and without is mentioned within it. I can't recall verbatim.
Sister, you, Queen, you have babies. One of them is in your arm and it's beautiful. Like I said, you're making me jealous because I ain't got my grandchildren here. You have babies. Every step, and I think it's in chapter 21 as well, every step you take should be taken in prudence. Islam means simple faith requires, Islam
Very,
means peace. Help me out, Sheikh. Day.
Islam is a very simple faith.
It
It teaches
requires
man
you,
the
Queen.
supreme duty of living at peace with everyone, at peace with Allah, at peace with his fellow creatures, at peace with self.
And now I just see you on Facebook and you seem to be a very beautiful young lady. In the next 25, 30 years, be looking at equal. Yeah, I'm talking about your mother. Yeah, I'm talking about her. Be looking. He said, that ain't my daddy talking like that. But you'll be looking and saying, walk in peace, Queen. Walk in, no matter what, don't let nothing disturb your peace. It's out there. You're just one person against, in your neighborhood alone, I can imagine, let's say 1,000 people. In your neighborhood, that's a lot to go up against. But if you walk in peace, and I think it's in chapter 21, you won't have to worry about that. Walk in Islam. It requires you to be at peace with your surroundings, your brother, your sister, your mother. It requires you to be at peace, because anything else can cause you, as a woman, could cause all kinds of, it could throw a whole bunch of stuff. Them chakras, as you mentioned earlier, can automatically go off balance. And I think we talked about chapter 1 in Soul of Man, proportion. It can become in proportion in a matter of moments because you are a woman. But walk in peace no matter what. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to do, but don't make it hard to do. Walk. You got that baby in you. That child needs you. Even though when he grow up, he gonna get on them games and pay you no mind, but
No, that's honor. That's the Mobitis. That's a little princess.
praise Allah.
She gonna be right there. She gonna be right there with. She gonna be right there with her mom. That's why you better listen to what the sheik tell you, or else you gonna be growing. You gonna look up, and then Honor gonna be out there in the streets throwing her hands.
Man,
You don't want
what you
that.
say? What you say?
You don't
Walk in
want that.
peace. No matter what you do, how much of it you do it. Walk, take your time. You don't let nothing. If it don't hurt your children or you, don't sweat it. Everything is the Lord karma. You mentioned chakras earlier. There's also the Lord karma, and I think it's in the chapter religion in the Quran. We're not going nowhere. We're gonna pay them up.
Yeah.
You know, don't you accumulate a karma trying to do something.
Yeah. Trying to avenge my own self. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't. It won't be worth it.
That,
Believe me, it won't be worth it.
that's good.
But Mo, I tell you what, I'm gonna get ready to seal this one up.
Hold on, wait a minute, Sheik. You owe us a lot. We still you wait. This ain't even half for the show you outlined for me.
Mo,
This ain't even half of the show you outlined for me. Did I know
talk
the
to
most day they bake question?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you clearly. Yes, sir.
So this whole time I thought I was speaking, but my computer was on mute.
Okay.
And I didn't realize, so I looked and it gave me a notification like, hey, do you want to unmute yourself?
Okay.
Computer got double mute functions. I don't have any questions right now. I was just coming in, so I was trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can. I thought we were going to continue to go.
Well, what we're gonna do, man, is we Book of Revelation, chapter 17, the end of time fulfilling of the prophecy. The Sheikh Matthews Bay out your Piscean record or your Holy Bible. We're gonna talk about those. We're gonna talk about the symbolism because we need to know the times that we're living in. We need to know, you need to know. We need some answers to why our brothers and sisters out there being feminine and being masculine when they should be feminine and then when they should be masculine and they don't know why. We need to know. And this give us a clear insight, this chapter 17, this great harlot that has this cup of abomination full of impurity that's given us all to sip from, and is laced with money, fame, wealth, and honor. We need to know this. So we, Brother Day Bay, we, Sister Queen, we don't get caught up in it. We don't get caught up in it. You're young, both of you are young, you're radiant looking young people, and you got lives, you got 70, 80 years easily on your life. Because the Prophet Noble says, honor your mother and your father, your days will be longer. So you easily got a long way to go. But in that longevity, you're going to run upon temptation after temptation after temptation. And I'm one that can tell you, but you have to overcome. You can't yield to that temptation, because you've seen the results of that temptation will have you betray in your people. And traitors, the prophet says, it's better in the eyesight of Allah to steal than to betray, because when you betray, you hurt more than the person that you stole from. All you hurt is that person that you stole from. But when you betray, man, you're hurting so many more that you have to give an account for. So this is why this lesson is that we need to know. We're going to talk about, and this great harlot, we're going to talk about where she's setting, and it's going to blow your minds. If you don't know, it's going to blow your mind. It's because she's right. Wow, she's right here, and the spirit of her is overcoming all people, man. It's knocking them. It's knocking them for a loop. So we're gonna recap what we talked about, brother. We're gonna recap about Allah. We're going to recap that we're not Masons. We're going to recap the soul of man, and we're going to recap this issue right here. And maybe we go into verse 2 of Soul of Man next week, that we have a soul is evident, is that we have a soul. And the Queen spoke earlier of us having losing that soul. And that's what this chapter is all about. This harlot is all about us having lost our souls, regardless of what it's for, having no soul. We can't have a soul to do the things that we do. You cannot have the soul to do the things that you do, because the prophet says, the record reflects that the soul is the image of him who gave it to us. You know, so that's what we're going to be talking about more.
Islam, Sheikh. Now I got to say this, because next week we're gonna all be in the same place at the same time. So
oh wow. Okay, praise Allah.
yes,
Okay.
we will all be in the same place at the same time. Okay. So we're gonna have to be crafty. So everybody who's listening, it might you could guarantee, I can guarantee you that the Doctors of the Law podcast will not be at 7 p.m. It won't be at 7 p.m. So be looking for us somewhere in the midday, probably on some random day. I'll try my best to give you as much notice as possible. But whatever we can find time to sit down for an hour, that's all you're probably gonna get is an hour out of us, because we're gonna be at convention.
Well, whatever it is, be it the will of Allah, it gives you hope. And all that's going on in the world and all that you're going through personally, however long it be, I pray to Almighty God, Allah, be it his will that you get hope, that things are going to change. Don't think that people out there, conditions are not going to change. Have hope that they will, because they are going to. Hope is a great attribute of the Creator. Hope is a magnificent attribute of the Creator. Hope is our soul. Hope. You know, and this is what we're going to give one another, even within the hour that we have. Faith, hope, and then we're going to go on to love, truth, peace, freedom, and just all 7 of those attributes we're going to demonstrate. You know, because our people need them. You young people need them, so you can be here 30, 40, 50 years. You can be a senior, like I feel as if I am, talking to young people, encouraging them, giving them hope to go on, to withstand the trials and tribulations that you are going to undergo, to keep the Moorish Scientific of America and yourselves and family alive. Because believe me, the world has no problem with eating you up like your M&M candy. Have no problem killing us. But Allah will sustain our life. Allah will sustain us if we would but just trust in Allah. No matter what the situation or what the conditions, we got to trust in Allah. We got to have faith in Allah. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. By faith, our fathers have done some great things. By faith, you all have done some great things. By faith, not knowing how you're going to do it, but you did it. And our fathers have did great things as well. And this is what we got to have. Hope, no matter what you're going through. You can be on a ship that's being tossed. Just let down that anchor of hope. And it's Queen, can I just say this, please? Can I just say this, please? And it's the name whereby we are to be saved in these days and time. It says the last prophet in these days and time. You know, Jesus, we love him. I appreciate everything he has done. Make no mistake about it. But that's not the man's name. He said, did he give to the angel that was called
Jesus?
Jesus, a holy name. So you want to call on the name. You want the real name that has the real power that you want to call on. And aside from Allah, I bet it's to just rely on Allah, no matter what the situation is. Because Jesus is a Greek name. Is that right? Jesus is Greek. It's plainly stated. Did the angel give to the child Jesus that was called Jesus. He had a holy name. We want to know this man's holy name if we have to call on him. What is his holy name? That they didn't tell you what it was, but give you a Greek name. So, I mean, these are the things that we need to know that we can sustain 40, 50, 60, 70 years and trying to uplift these stubborn, stiff-necked people out here whom we love. And not only that, but whom are our mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, uncles and aunts and cousins that we love. So we got to sustain ourselves to sustain them. You know, so call on Allah, sister. Whatever you do, call on Allah morning, noon, and night. Worship Allah, his name, his holy name. There is no other name given amongst men whereby we are to be saved other than the great God Allah's name. Other than his name. And then even with him, he says, whom do we refer to at times as being the great God? So you're going to go some places and you're going to hear other names, but you're going to refer to him as who he is, Allah. That's what that means. What say ye?
Islam, Islam, Islam.
And things that are going on in the world today, Morris, just keep praying to Allah. Trust in Allah. Trust that he knows. We oftentimes say Allah is the best of planners. Allah is the all-knowing. Allah is the all-seeing. So in other words, Allah sees all of this. He knows all of this. He has planned all of this. Why are we going against what we know? Get in accord with Allah's plan. Get in accord with him knowing. Make your will Allah's will, and you'll make all the difference in your life and the lives that are around you, and especially for your children, for our children. That's my child that you're holding in your arm because I'll give my life for him. And I don't mean to die. I mean to get up and talk about Allah because I'm going to trust that Allah is my protector. I'm going to trust that he's my God. I'm going to trust. So I'm going to go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I ain't going to fear no evil. Because I'm going to tell what I need to tell, what's given to me to tell. Because if I don't, then the more I lose, more lives will be lost by me keeping my mouth shut than me walking through that valley of shadow of death and not opening it. And I'm not going to have nobody's life on my conscience.
That's real.
Ma'am?
That's real. I was saying most righteous. That's real.
Alhamdulillah. I don't know no other way. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything else. My wife tell me, she said, boy, go in there and mop that floor. I'm going to ask her, how do you mop the floor?
hey, see, now I got to use that one. I got to use that one. Hey,
yeah, man. Everybody,
I don't know how to do that. Can you show me?
Yeah. See, I don't know nothing else. But you know I don't know anything else. So, because this is all I know more. So, uplift our people. Be a beacon light.
That's right.
You know, be a beacon to our people. So, all right, what else you looking at, Sheik?
Yeah, man, I think it's a beautiful thing. Well, you know something, Sheik. You know the people are they watching. The last episode we did, it got about a total. We got about 1,300 views, and so they watching, and those questions, you know, they there, and they gonna come out with those questions, you know.
Well, Sheik, is it all possible? I would even like to have. I'm gonna put out the terminology or words. These are more than words, but I'm gonna put them out as words. I have no problem with dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with controversies. I have no problem with meeting. I don't have these problems. I don't have them. And also, I think I may have said this to you once before, Sheik. Yeah, I know a little bit, but the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that, what he says, the gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he appointed to every one of us our measure, our portion. Help me out.
And he appointed to everyone his
That
portion.
seems,
What
good
measure
unto
seemeth
himself.
good unto himself.
so we all have a portion of the same pie. And until we get these portions together, until we put these portions on the table, we're not going to get that pie.
That's
And
right.
therefore, everybody's not going to eat. But I have no problem, Sheik. Anybody want to come on, let's do it. Let's talk, dialogue, controversy. We're going to argue a little bit, just a little bit now. And but let's do it, man, because you're saying that I'm wrong, and I'm saying prove Sheik Clarence Prather you're wrong. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm beseeching you. If you say I'm wrong, prove me wrong under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Don't keep saying in the corner, in the crack, or amongst your own, this is wrong or that's wrong. Prove me wrong, because as you all know, I called you. As a matter of fact, Sheik, I would like to do give a little history on myself, do a little segment of a history on myself, if that's at all possible. Just to let the world know, well, I'm ready to sit down and talk. I'm ready to sit down and do what's required, that we can get something out of all of this. So we got Allah, we got the Prophet, we got Moorish Science Temple, we got the Holy Spirit, we got all of this, and we're not benefiting from it.
Mm.
All because, maybe it's me, all because you are afraid that what you have, I'm going to prove false. Or I won't come amongst you because I'm afraid what I have, you may prove false. Well, if what I have is false, prove me so I can get on the right. Because I have children, I have grandchildren, I have great-grandchildren. If what I have is wrong, please prove me wrong so I can get on your page and we can go up this road. We can double our strength. Your strength and my strength, we can walk up the road with the double strength. And that's one of the main reasons why we don't get together. Because we won't, and we think that we know, and I have to say it again, Sheik, we know, there are brothers and sisters out there that seem so authoritative, got these magnificent, wonderful titles with all these attributes, but they know, without a doubt or contradiction, they know that they don't know what it is that they're talking about. They know this. And you would almost have to fight them, become enemies, to let them know that they know that they don't know. But doing all that, they're going to breathe on the young mind, breathe on the young sister, breathe on the young people that really don't know. And next thing you know, we said, now we got an adversary that we don't know nothing about. All because we're breathing slander. I'm not breathing no slander. Hatred, I'm not breathing no slander. Murder, theft, I'm not breathing any of that. I'm saying that if you want to get together with Sheik Clarence Prather Ill, all you got to do is just call. I don't travel anymore in the winter months, especially Chicago or beyond Philadelphia and New Jersey. But the summer months, I have no problem with traveling. I don't have no problem traveling in the winter months to the South. But stop thinking that you know, and stop slandering me and not coming proving me wrong. Because I'm talking to three people right now. I'm making disciples or people like me already. And I could be possibly lying to them. If I am, come and tell me. Stop me from lying to them and any others. That's all I ask. Don't ask. I don't want your money. I don't want your woman. I don't want your house. I don't want nothing you got. But all I want for you is to stop me from lying, if I'm lying. And if I ain't, let's work it out. Is that fair?
No, she. It's praise be to Allah.
This is she Clarence Praise the Ill.
So, you know, Sick, I wanted to touch on that. Earlier this week, I had a friend and she was like, she texted me at like 1 in the morning and I was asleep. So once I woke up, I was like, what's wrong? Like, is you okay or whatever? She's like, no, I just had some questions about religion or whatever. I was like, you know, ask me whatever you want to ask me. I was like, you know, I know some stuff and I'm gonna answer your question to the best of my ability. But if I don't know, I know somebody who does. Because we know if man would know, he himself must be what he knows. So once you said that, it just brought me back to that.
Man, she would call me 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd been right over there. She'd have came out. She'd have been at the temple the next day. Because that's how, man, she wants to know. People don't ask things unless they want to know. It's an opportunity for you. I would not have went back to sleep. I would have been on that phone. I'd have either been over there or we'd have been on that phone all night long.
It's like, no, she texted me. She texted and I was asleep. So once I woke up, I responded to answer her question.
But next time we'll bring on, throw that, the net is, she's on the hook. The fish know that if the fish knew that when you're taking the bait, if you knew that the hook was there in, bring it, wheel it on in. When she calls you next time, when it text you, wheel it on in.
Sometimes I feel like a lot of times like we don't like to say we don't know. Like, and that's something that like I've been trying to build up in the culture of the people around me. Like, if you don't know, just say you don't know. Like, there's no need to like overcompensate with a bunch of words to cover up the fact that you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like even pointing back to the scripture, knock and the door shall open, asking you shall receive. Like, we are called to ask questions because inherently we don't know it all. The source that has all the answer is within us, but we can't just pull it up, you know what I'm saying, out of the whim. So we have to ask for help. And it's okay when if somebody come to me and say, ask me something that I don't know, I gotta be real. I don't know. But guess what? I research it with you because now I'm interested. You know? Like we can figure out the answer together. Let's do it. You know? Like that's really what we have to get back to. Like being okay with not knowing. Like
this is what we
Erica, I do say the wise man know that he know nothing at all. Look, I'm pretty sure somehow Master said it before she said it, but look.
This is what we got to, this is what we must tell one another. Let us know. Let me know that if I tell you I don't know, that, you know, I'm not, I don't have to feel inferior because I don't know. And I have no problem with telling you, I'm not going to fabricate anything because nothing was fabricated to me. It wasn't lied to me. So this is what we have to do. It's all right, not like you said, Queen, it's all right if you don't know. But some people think that is a weakness. You know, I tell them that I got this 5, 10, 15, 20 people following me. And if I tell them I don't know, they're going to stop following you. Well, they shouldn't be following you no way.
That's right.
You should be preparing them what the prophet said, right at the top of our credentials. It said, set in defense of the gospel. And this is where we need to be, setting people in defense of the gospel. Not of she Clarence Praise the Ill, but of this gospel that the world, that Satan, that the great harlot is attacking. Tell them that it's all right that you don't know, because I don't have no problem with telling you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you, and I'm not.
Islam, she cannot. I want to say this.
Say that, she.
I don't want. I don't wish what I had to go through on nobody in the world. I don't wish it on nobody. I also want to tell the people, don't wait until life proves to you that you don't know. And you've been out here acting like you do, and you've been convincing yourself that you do. So when you communicate through your mouth, hey, I'm the master teacher. I know this, I know that, I got this, I got that. Then the people that do know, they understand that trying to communicate or trying to teach you is not going to work. So now they don't nobody come to you and give you those things that can help you. Every man, don't get in the situation I got in where I was like, my best thinking and my best knowledge has gotten me hell. Wow. I need to turn around and master learning, master the humility that it takes to be a student. I mean, I'm convinced. I'm convinced in my heart, sheet, that this is the path to getting out of that hell, to getting them karmas up off of me, to be a modest and honest, tell the truth. No, I don't know. Teach me. I mean, listen, sheep, and listen, Mo. I am the grand sheep. So I will say this. When I say that I'm the master student, I'm not saying that I don't know nothing. I'm saying that I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. I'm never going to sit here and lie to these Moors who I owe a responsibility to and tell them I got all the degrees that it is to have. I ain't finna tell them no crap like that.
Wow.
I'm not finna have them thinking that. So then when a master come willing to teach them, willing to confer some stuff on them to help them solve problems that I can't help them solve, they thinking, nah, Pennington Bay, my grand sheet, he the only one I'm gonna learn from. I'm not finna have them thinking no crap like that.
Wow. That's a blessing to you, Mo.
I mean, Mo, like I said, I don't wish what I had to go through on nobody, but I was forced. I was forced, Chief. I was forced by circumstance, by life, to humble myself and be like, man, I don't know, man. I'm ignorant.
Well, let me ask a question. Let me ask you all a question. What happens? The record reflects that a man's idea is his God. Is that right?
That's right.
What happens when Allah gives you a blessing and you don't carry it out? Tell me what happens. What takes place?
Man, I mean, I could tell you, I know exactly what takes place.
Tell me.
Let Mo, you lose it. You not only do you lose the opportunity, you know, and that's because opportunities are important, but you lose the opportunity. Your ideal, which is your idea of what's perfect, it becomes less, it's imperfect. You moving further away from God. You know, you moving further away from God. I mean, from my own personal experience, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Brother Day Bay. Oh, Queen, go ahead.
I was saying that I would concur with that, like, and also like these thoughts start raising up that kind of break you down and start to make you feel like you don't have everything you need. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have what you needed in the moment, or you'll never get there, or you start losing confidence, you know. And it goes back to literally what brother was saying, like you just kind of distance yourself further and further away from God. And now it like put me in this mind frame, like I got a lesson once before about how Adam got caught in the garden trying to cover himself with fig leaves. And so like I think like we go into that state, right, of trying to cover ourselves because we feel like we're no longer covered by Allah, right? So now we trying to figure out how we can patch ourselves up to feel strong and feel mighty, you know. So that's what I believe. I believe that's what happens.
Okay. Prince, Day Bay.
Islam. I was still thinking. That was a good question, and it got me thinking. You know.
Okay. Well, let me answer then. Allah gives you a thought. Apparently, He wants something done, and when we don't do it, somebody else does, and get the blessing. When we don't do what we're supposed to do, when we don't do what Allah requires of us to do, somebody else does. And as it stands now, because we're not doing all that we should be doing, somebody else out there got all our blessings, got our jobs, got our men, got our women, got our prestige. In my neighborhood as policemen, in my courthouse as judge. Are y'all with me?
Yes, Lord.
All because we didn't do what we were required to do, what Allah asked you to do. A man's idea is his God. If you don't demonstrate that idea, you put it out there, somebody's going to pick it up and run with it. And if you don't do it after a certain long time, it's not yours anymore. And this is the condition that we're living in. We're too busy at odds with everything that the world, that somebody else is out there, got all our blessings that we're supposed to have.
And can I?
I feel like a lot of times we don't recognize it until we see it. Like you said, we see somebody else with our blessings, somebody else doing what Allah told us to do. And then it clicks like, dang.
And then all of a sudden, when we didn't click, and we said, Jack, then we want to, Herb, get it done. Well, we ain't doing this, you ain't doing that ain't being done. When we should have went on and done it at the time that it was given to us.
Is
Not on something. Good, Queen.
I kind of wanted to like challenge that thought a little bit. Just like that somebody else can take our blessings, like just because I've learned and I believe that what's for us is for us, right? So they may pick up something that may be very similar to the thought that Allah put in you, but when he puts something in us, I feel like it's unique to us, it's unique to our experience, it's unique to who we are, and so when we walk around, I think with this thought that, oh man, they got my blessing. Now you start breeding jealousy within yourself and hate for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Instead of understanding that you still can do your part. You know what I'm saying? You still can tap into your blessing, because once you start walking into you'll be able to get those miracles and things like that and be able to see what Allah didn't just throw out there in the beginning. Yeah, that's what I kind of
Queen.
sat with that.
You know who I think about, Sheik?
Go
I
ahead,
think
She.
I think about Jonah.
Okay, okay,
I think about
okay,
Jonah, Sheik.
okay,
You know, that the job that Allah had for him to do, that was his job. And when
okay,
he didn't do it, he paid for it.
okay.
But he did it. So
Mother, Queen, you're right. What is for us is for us. But how many times are we going to keep prolonging it? How much more longer are we going to keep prolonging what is for us is for us? When are we going to get in a position that's is that we can get it? When are we going to do what we're required to do so we can get what is for us? That is for us from Allah. We prolong so many things of what we do. Yeah, it's for us, and we are going to get it. But why I got to catch the hell that I'm catching before I get it? Why I got to get my head smacked upside my head before I get my blessing? Because apparently I'm not ready for it. And as a result of not being ready for it, I don't get it. And I look over and I see somebody else eating it, and I say, man, what they eating my bread for? Drinking my good old Adam's ale and eating my fruits and vegetables. Yes, it's for us, but we prolong it. Like I said earlier in the message, we've been slipping. We've been slipping since 1928. That's how long we've been slipping on a slippery slope. And now we have fallen from the highest planes of life, from the stages of humanity, and we're struggling trying to get back to a high plane of life, a high plane of life. But in the meantime, this work is hard. All that
It
I'm
is.
saying is this: We on this phone, Queen, you were declared chosen by your words that come out your mouth. We have to stay straight and narrow because what comes? The sheik had to go he had to go sit in school for however long he sat in school to learn what he had to learn to love what he's loved now. Prince Dede Bay had to go what he had to go through, that he learned to be where he is now. I had to go through what I had to go through to learn. How much more learning do we, for example, need? And whatever more it is, we're here to give it to one another. That we don't have to sell our soul. Sister, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to come you have to come anywhere that I'm affiliated with and have to worry about anything disrespectful. They you have to worry about all the money in your pocket. It could be bulging out, falling out on the ground. Every penny of it, wherever I'm at, you're going to leave with it. Because that's what it takes for us to do what we have to do. Know that we're called and go and do the work that we are called to do. So won't nobody else. That baby, Queen, you don't want that child is in your arms right now. You know what you gone through in your life. You don't have to send that child to go through it because you're going to teach her. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little one that they may love themselves, that they may love and respect themselves. I ain't talking about loving me or love themselves. That means that they're going to listen to you. That means they're going to do what's right. It means that everything that's pertaining to them from the bottom of their feet to the top of their head, they're going to hold it as if they got a gold or diamonds. They're going to keep it sacred, hold it. That's the love that we're talking about. That's the love that our children need. Be taught to them, you know.
Islam. 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 Speak, we got just a few more days.
I'm looking for Moshe. I just found out. Well, you had to get my schedule from Sheik Alex from Pray Hill.
Okay.
Because when I go up there, I usually stop in various states. I used to several days earlier, stop at various states and see the older malls that I haven't seen in a long time. Okay. But I'm riding with Alex, and I understand that, he got his schedule, so I'm gonna meet his schedule because it'll be just a blessing to ride with them. So
okay, so I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him right after this meeting to find out what time y'all gonna land. So that way we can make sure that we be there.
I'm gonna call him, let him know. Yes, all right, Sheik. Well, I'm gonna get up to more. May Allah bless you all. Thank you, baby, for being on. Thank you, Queen, for being on.
Yes,
thank you, baby, for
Princess Honor. Islam.
Honor's all mine, Moors.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Sheik. Want me to tell you how you know you demonstrated a good gospel? When Honor listen.
Huh?
When Honor listen. If you weren't demonstrating a good gospel, Honor would have been. She would have been. Yeah, come on.
Oh, that's her name.
Yes, Honor. Yep.
Woo! Wow.
Yes.
She's beautiful too.
Yes,
thank you. Yeah, covenant, baby.
All right, well, we're gonna say this prayer, and we'll whisper in prayer, and I will see you the next time we speak again. I'll see you next week. Absolutely. On the count of one. Queen, you want to lead us out in prayer?
It's fine.
Okay, say 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna pray.
3, 2, 1. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen.
Amen. Praise God. And don't forget, you see them 2 ears right there? You see them 2 ears right by your lips?
Yeah.
You see those 2 ears by your lips right there?
Yeah.
Don't forget to, every night while she sleep,
Yeah.
whisper that prayer
It's on.
in the mirror. All right, Morris. May
It's
Allah
on.
bless us all and love to each other until we see again.
Islam.
It's on.
Islam.
Peace and love. I've seen brothers here in Chicago, here in Baltimore, come through the Moorish American through the door, having been shot 6, 7 times. I see them come in and they get healthy and they okay. All because of the power of that prayer. I'm not talking about no other prayer. I'm talking about the prayer that you have faith in. What faith in is that we have faith in? It's the Moorish American prayer. We have our own prayer. But when you call it, I love Allah, you don't say I love you. I love Allah. Oh Allah, I love thee. Thine art my God, Allah. That's what Allah wants. That's His language. That's what He put in our ears in reference to Him. What He wants you to call Him, not what the English man, the English speaking, or the Greek speaking, or other speaking people want you to call Him. He wants you to call Him what He said His name is.